Family. Today marks 100 years since the Bulhoek Massacre. Abongile Yankees has been covering the story for us since this morning. Abongile, I understand you're now with the Eastern Cape Premier.
Yes, indeed, Ezra. I'm with the Eastern Cape Premier, Mr. Oscar Mabuyane. Let's get on with them. Premier, we're here today, and when I spoke earlier to the people of this area, they say this massacre lacks recognition from government. What do you have to say about that?
Thank you very much. Good morning to yourself and your viewers. And government has been working on this side. I don't think it's correct to say it lacks recognition from government. The infrastructure that is here has been built by government over a couple of years ago. It's a concept that needs to be taken to its logical conclusion. The concept itself included phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is what you see here, the beautiful infrastructure that has been erected here. Phase 2 was about creating tourist housing chalets around this mountain. We're here to commemorate this 100th year. We are actually looking at from where we are coming from 24th of May 1921, where this incident took place. The incidents actually epitomized the struggles of our people against this colonial regime that was here to really make it a point that our people don't actually lose themselves. All the kind of indignity that was happening, the dehumanization that you can think of. We are basically trying to say we know where we are coming from. We know where we are, we know where we are heading to as well, but also to make a point that people must understand that all those crimes against humanity that were committed must actually help us to move forward, to mobilize the world for all peace-loving people to come together to make sure that we protect our people, we protect humanity, we protect children, we protect women. Women also died here, children also died here. It's exactly the same thing that are happening now in Palestine against the government of Israel. So we are calling all those people out there to understand what we represent. This area might be called as an area Yamas Israel. It could appear as a contradiction that I'm also putting this Palestine sign to make sure that people understand that we are people, we've got to work together, our differences must be reconcilable. So we're here as the government of the Eastern Cape to say our intention is to take this project to its logical conclusion, bring development here. This is a tourist attraction. It has got this very rich history about the liberation struggle of our people. It is part of our liberation route. I know as South African Heritage Council is working on this, it has already graded this as a grade 1, but now they are currently working on its status to be fully actually recognized as a heritage site. So all those things are done, and government is actually following every possible step to make sure that we achieve that.
Talking about it being a heritage site, surely it would attract tourists here, which contributes to some economic spin-offs.
Definitely. Here in the Eastern Cape, you really can't take tourism without talking heritage. If you look at our liberation route, it also gives you that sense of heritage that we have around these areas. So we are really making it a point that this becomes indeed a tourist attraction. That's why we need to do all possible things to realize the full actually vision around this. As I've said earlier, this what you see was the first phase. There was a second phase. Unfortunately, this was done by the Department of Environmental Affairs nationally when it had a program called Social Responsibility. When the department splitted, tourism going the other direction and environmental remaining behind, that project, we lost it. And they were spoken to the Minister of Arts and Culture, Minister Natim Teto, and say, how are we going to collaborate and work together in the context of district development model to achieve that envisaged vision around this site?
Lastly, Premier, currently the province, there are low numbers of active cases due to coronavirus, but everyone is on panic mode due to the third wave looming. Would you call for stricter measures at this point?
Not really. COVID-19, even if you've got one case, that's a threat. It's a serious threat. You understand how it actually originated. We had one person who got it from somewhere. It spread across the world. So even here, we are much nervous about it. over the last 24 hours, we had about 100 new cases. We still have a relatively about 200 active cases of COVID-19. We want people to strictly really maintain our non-pharmaceutical interventions, as we have said, wearing of masks, regular sanitizing, social distancing, older people remaining at home, but also calling our people to register for inoculation. We'd want to see our people all being inoculated so that at least we mitigate these catastrophic effects of this particular virus. So we are still saying it is there and it remains very disastrous, and we don't want our people, especially vulnerable people, to be exposed to it. So we want to appeal to our people to respect it.
I thank you so much, sir. I understand that you still have to go inside. Well, Desiree, that was the Premier of the province, Oscar Mabuyane, telling us about the plans that they have for this area and saying that COVID is still a threat in the province, even though we still have low numbers of infections here in the province, Desiree.
Abongile Yankis, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed in terms of this story.